Hey cutie. Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. I can't believe how long it's been since I last updated my No Pan Left Behind. I have not stopped doing this project. I reset every year at the beginning of the year, trying to touch every single pan of eyeshadow that I own in my collection, and this year is no different. I am trying to touch every single item of eyeshadow that I have in my collection yet again. Last year I was successful. I believe the year before that I was successful, but prior to that I was not. So I am already setting off to a great pace this year, and I'm really excited to share my No Pan Left Behind with you. So if you like project pan videos, talking about makeup, using up makeup more so than purchasing makeup this year, I would love it if you subscribe so you can join me on this journey and you can be a little cutie too. If you're new to my No Pan Left Behind series, I do like chart my makeup. I have it in like a little it's not a spreadsheet, but it's kind of like a spreadsheet. So I have it in like a little thing that I can color in, and like it's almost like a coloring page. I really enjoy it, and you guys seem to enjoy this as well. So I'm going to keep doing it this way, and it just works for me. So I have all of the palettes in front of me, and then I'll have like my intro, like all of the palettes with the no use in it, and then you'll see January's real quick. So I first hit No Pan Left Behind in this palette here. This is the Sugar Drizzle Fun Size palette. I had so much fun with this in January. I ended up hitting No Pan Left Behind in this palette on the 18th of January. I was filming so many YouTube shorts and just quick ways to like incorporate color into my Pan That palette, and I had so much fun with this, and I definitely want to bring this out in the summertime. I definitely need to, but for now I hit No Pan Left Behind, and I am definitely focusing on other palettes in my collection right now. I feel like you guys already know this, but I did No Pan Left Behind by Urban Decay Pan That palette. I'm not going to open this because I don't want to show you guys spoilers for the next update, but I did. This was the first thing I used, every single shade. I did that on the 1st of January when I was filming my Pan That palette intro, so that was exciting. This is my last No Pan Left Behind from January, but again, 3 palettes in 1 month. I felt really accomplished, and as you can see in the chart, little doodle that I have, I used a lot more than just these 3 palettes within the year. The last palette I hit No Pan Left Behind in January was my Natasha Denona Gold palette, and mine does look a little bit different than how it originally came because I don't really like blue eyeshadow too much. I'm always drawn to it, but I never use it. But I swapped out some shades, and I like this so much more. I enjoy this just so much more now, and I did use every single shade in here. So in January, 3 palettes in my collection out of 32 palettes total. That is 9% of my palettes used in January. So that was really exciting. I was really happy about that, and I just kept the momentum going. But in February, I definitely changed what I was focusing on. So I'll just show you really quickly the bubble drawing of February now. The first palette I hit No Pan Left Behind. I loved using this palette. This was like what I wanted to reach for Valentine's Day. This is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. This is just a really beautiful palette, and every single time I reach for this, I just feel really pretty in these shades. I just think they complement my skin tone and my eye color really well, and just maybe my hair. I don't know. I just really love every single time I wear this. I just feel really put together and like very effortlessly pretty. So I really enjoyed this one. I No Pan Left Behinded this on February 18th. My only other palette in February that I hit No Pan Left Behind, this one was really hard. This was really challenging because there are so many shades in this palette. This is the Ice Cream Dream palette by Glamlight, and it's just a 30 pan palette. There are so many shades in here, and I really had to put so much effort into using these shades, to be honest. It was a lot. So I also, like, on top of the like visual that you guys see, like for my own sanity, I do also have a little like thing in the back that I color in with like different colors depending on the month. And you can see I definitely used this way more in February, which is the pink, than January. I only had like 6 shades used in January, 7. This palette is pretty surprising with the way that I feel like you look at it and you see a ton of color in this, but there are actually so many neutral shades in this palette that you really can wear this to work and like jazz it up with a color here and there. But for the most part, I feel like I get a lot more neutral looks, surprisingly, out of that palette than colorful looks. In February, definitely my slow month for No Pan Left Behind and using eyeshadows in terms of palettes, because I feel like I used a lot of single eyeshadows in the month, so I don't want to discredit myself. I definitely used a lot, and I feel like I used a lot of shades, but maybe that's just in my head. Who knows? So in the first 2 months of the year, I used 15% of my palettes. I feel like that's a pretty good number for just like 2 months. I feel like that's pretty good. And then we moved to March, and I actually used 3 more palettes, and I completely used 3 more palettes and No Pan Left Behind them that in March. So the first one you guys heard me talk about in my Trash It and Cash It, and that's the Natasha Denona Bloom palette, and this is a brand new palette in my collection as of like the end of February, and I did hit No Pan Left Behind pretty quickly in this palette as well. I hit it on March 7th, and I've really enjoyed pairing this with my Pan That palette and with the other shades I've been using and trying to use. This has been really nice. I actually really like these kinds of corals with mint shades, so I really have been enjoying that. And then some of these like deeper, more red kind of corals look really good with actually this like center shade that's on my lid today, which is a shade I'm trying to finish in my Rolling 10 pan. So I really enjoy the way that these look. And again, you can see March was green. It's still something that I want to focus on this coming spring. If you saw my top 6 palettes that I'm reaching for this spring. Another palette that was in those top 6 ranking for springtime is the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. And again, I paired this with the Bloom palette quite often, as well as my Pan That palette, again, pretty regularly. And I do love these kinds of shades. I just think the pinks would be better if they were corals in this palette. But now that I have both, I can mix and match because the pans are magnetic, and I could just leave both of these on my desk and totally use it. But this is just so pretty. I absolutely love this palette. I ended up hitting the No Pan Left Behind on the 19th of March. So halfway through, I feel like I was really slow on using makeup this March, but I hit my No Pan Left Behind in quite a few things. So I am really happy about that one as well. So that was 3 Natasha Denona palettes that no, 4. Oh my gosh. 4 Natasha Denona palettes that I ended up hitting No Pan Left Behind already this year. But my last palette in the No Pan Left Behind was the Too Faced Maple Syrup Pancakes palette. And this was something I wanted to focus on because it has some green shades in it, but also because I think a lot of these shades are just really wearable for the office, and I can incorporate a lot of this with my Pan That palette, which was really nice. And I did end up clearly hitting No Pan Left Behind in this palette as well. I did that on March 22nd. Very happy about that. And I originally was trying to put focus in the Natasha Denona Green Brown palette. I still have like 11, 12 shades left to use in that palette, and I've kind of just realized that might be something I want to target more in the fall. So I kind of have taken a step back from that one. However, I am going to be focusing on some of those palettes in my top 6 for spring. So those are the palettes I'm going to be focusing on this coming few months, maybe like next 2 months, to hit No Pan Left Behind. So if you want a sneak peek on the things I'm reaching for in the next couple months, I will link it in the cards. So I used 25% of my collection in the first quarter. So that again is huge. This is the stack of palettes that I ended up using. Very excited. I really was shocked and surprised that I hit so many goals, and I really was trying to push myself to reach for a few more palettes here and there. But looking at like, and again, I will have it on the screen to go up now, but looking at the usage in my collection, I have reached for a ton of different palettes already, and I am just kind of diving into different palettes. So my goal is still to use 2.5 palettes every month, or at least try to get 2.5 palettes. Some months I might have 3 months, maybe more. There are some, I call them low-hanging fruit kind of palettes in the list as well. Palettes with 6 or less shades in it that I can reach for pretty quickly. If I want, like, I call it like a pick-me-up pan. If I want to feel like really good and like, oh, I made my goal, I'll reach for some of those like lower pan palettes. And I do like to pair those lower pan palettes with higher pan palettes, so like my 28 or more or 15 or more palettes, I do like to pair those with some of those smaller like quantity of pans, just so I can make progress in some shades but also hit the goals in like my collection. So that's kind of how I've been doing that. So let me know if do you do the no pan left behind? I know a lot of people are doing that this year, which makes me really excited that this is really taking off and people are using their collection as a whole more. So yeah, I would love to know if you do this kind of project as well. Do you just keep track in a notebook? Like how do you keep track? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!